he was like shocked because he's a runner, no bad habits, and very good food regime, exercises, all of it, marathon runner, and had no problems with his heart. He said maybe the device isn't still functioning well. And I asked him, do you mean this device really works? And he opens his shirt buttons in coffee day and shows one big scar. And he said, yes, and it has worked on me. So during that signal that the device communicated to him, he had one kind of a strip to be tied to the chest. He was wearing it, and a watch. And the watch was able to communicate, smartwatch. So this is even much before this smartwatches become popular now and common, but it was able to communicate. So he kind of got that signal. He didn't want to take a chance. He took his car, straight drove to the hospital. And as he went, and he said, I don't know, but my device is communicating to me, saying I'm going to get a heart attack very soon. So I want you people to check. So they checked and immediately dashed him to the operation theater, and his heart attack did not happen. Before the heart attack, they said you would have had a major, massive heart attack because 90% was the blockage. And now his device saved his life. What a wonderful thing, right? Look how a device could communicate to him, and he took a chance and went on time to the hospital, and then he was cured through a surgery and the intervention the doctors did and the medication which was given. He was heart and hale now, and now during even the COVID time, the kind of device that he's come out with, which could help detect, especially the spread, with the spread, asymptomatic cases, how to trace them is what he did. And I think Dubai liked the kind of work that he did here, Make in India award winner, and then he went on to collaborate and help many companies, the device manufacturing companies and collaboration, and I'm sure his work has been very, very helpful. So reacting is ordinary, communicating effectively is extraordinary. Are we listening, right? So with that, I think another little story, a little extra story. As I said, these are little extra stories which will probably inspire you. And even if you have fallen asleep on afternoon after a heavy lunch, it's still going to go into your mind and do its little magic, right? And going to be resident there, but it's going to show up as you would need, and to create innovation, to make innovation happen in a healthy way. So the other shot of inspiration and a story is working hard is ordinary. We need to work hard. There's no option, right? But if we can be a little extra, working smart is extraordinary. Working hard is ordinary. Working smart is extraordinary. So let me give one example of how another cardiac surgeon here, Dr. Shrikant Sola. So he actually amazing student, was gold medalist, studied in Harvard, Stanford, to one of the top, all the top institutions have recognized him, young man, and wanted to come back to India and do a service. So he was a surgeon at Sri Sathya Sai Center for Medical Research and in Whitefield Super Speciality Hospital. And as part of the surgeries that he was, scans that he would do, he realized that so many patients, actually it's reactive approach and heart ailments. But he said we could have actually stopped this with or reduced because of pollution, which is actually causing a lot of ailment. So many people are falling sick. He said, I've done enough treatment. I think I should focus on reducing that. That was a hard work. Morning till night, he used to, and so many patients, as many you do, that many patients were growing, people waiting in queues. And how many ever you do, not enough. He said, this is hard work. We have to do something smarter. And he went on to create a device. And he got that idea of that device because of the scanning, the technology which was used, and the radiation, the technology in scanning which was used, and then the Wi-Fi where it works the way it works. So those technologies he was able to bring out, combine, and create a device which actually neutralizes these particles, and the pollution is reduced because of that. And in Delhi, when marathon was happening, they realized that, man, people, it's so much of pollution, and running a marathon is not easy. And Airtel, who was the sponsors, they said, hey, we'll have this kind of a device. And Devi Karth is the name of the company, that this doctor became an entrepreneur. And he is the invention and many patents again. And then this was commercialized as an entrepreneurial venture. And this was put into use. Now, cement factories and many places where there is a lot of heavy work and dust and smoke, these kind of industries where so much of pollution happening, they started installing this. Very, very powerful. Now it's simple, but very powerful. And one of the validation they did was, how is it helping? Because you can't see this air. And the while pollution can be measured in different ways, and devices are there, and agencies were also engaged where they were able to see how this is performing. One interesting outcome was there. During this period, when they had this device installed, the number of sick leaves in the organization, in these factories, came down. Fantastic, right? So, and their interest is to make this whole world a better place with respect to this pollution and the stability that we would want, and we want sustainable planet. So they are very committed, and they've moved from that hard work to smart work. So very simple device, but even in the theaters, the malls, people have started installing this. And one of the Singapore-based investment came forward, saw the potential in this, and invested. And what a fantastic work the people are doing, and human values for that innovation, consciously is being brought to the forefront, and they are coexisting, and hopefully they will achieve a lot more and create this place, as this world, a better place for all of us to stay, right? So that's a smart work. So another shot of inspiration, acquiring knowledge. Acquiring knowledge is ordinary. Applying knowledge multiple times in multiple ways is extraordinary. Actually, this brings out, another personal experience of mine. And as a coach, I was engaged as a super mentor to LMCP, AIC LMCP, which is Atal Incubation Center. And Sheen was here, who is the CEO of AIC LMCP Foundation, which is the incubation center. I don't know how many of you have visited there. You should. I've gone through the virtual tour, but really looking forward for a physical one. I loved the place, and there's so much greenery, and it's there inside the city, and it's so green and so beautiful, natural, right? When we talk about healthcare, healthy way, innovation happening in a right environment also makes a lot of difference for our own thinking, the way you do. So environment plays a big role. So one of the sessions when Srinivas and myself, this was during the early days of lockdown, 2020, early days of lockdown. People were confused world over, and even in India, and not sure. The only hope was vaccination, that, for our activities to come, but don't know when the vaccine is going to come. Is it going to come? It has to come someday, but how soon? Absolutely no idea, world over. And we were having this mentorship session. So I asked one question to Srinivas. I asked, the hope for vaccination is so much, and definitely anybody talking about innovation during the pandemic time in healthcare, everybody is talking just one thing, which is vaccination, the vaccine to be created as an innovation. So, but there is a lot of other things which is required, right? In terms of process, in terms of one question that I asked is, if everybody has to be vaccinated, no questions in the world, how many syringes are required? Any guess how many syringes are required? Are we even equipped? The world is not equipped. And here, production isn't there. That much of stock isn't there. If vaccine happens tomorrow or day after, are we equipped to give it to people? Or if it happens even 3 months down the line, are we equipped to give it to people? If we have to give, we need the syringes. Where is it going to come from? Is it not an opportunity for us to innovate, for startups to consider this, or MSME who are already into some manufacturing, or somebody as even a large enterprise which is manufacturing syringes, they definitely don't have the capacity. And AIC LMCP being a specialized incubator, which is in the healthcare and wellness and pharma, who else better than you are capable to influence or to sensitize this as a requirement? Maybe the whole world will benefit, or that entrepreneurs would see this as an opportunity. It's a fantastic challenge and a worthy challenge for us to take. So this was a knowledge which Srinivas acquired. I don't know what all he did and how all he applied, but he was triggered, he was committed. He said, yeah, we've not thought about this. We need to apply this. And I think several things which I'm aware that he's behind the scene, that he was doing, and he's in his team. And also I'm sure LMCP being that, the first pharma college in India post the independence, 75 years of that network and that leverage of that, Srinivas went on full on in applying that knowledge. I don't know how many times, but definitely he did. And recently when I saw one, a news article that, one of the Gujarat-based company is the largest exporter of syringes, right? And the whole world has benefited. And look at Srinivas, and as part of LMCP AIC, what they are doing is, one, they influenced the policies. They kind of supported, be it even MSME or so, on how if funding requirement is there, capital requirement is there, or approvals which are there. Usually the approval process is pretty long in the healthcare industry, right? In the pharma industry. So understanding the process and liaising with right people, or connecting the dots and bringing right people to work together. So these are all the things that, as a part of ecosystem player and a catalyst and an enabler, that Srinivas, your own Srinivas, our own Srinivas, has been involved in making. And I would definitely want you all, because he is based in your university, your college, and also the incubation center that he's a CEO. If you liked his effort and want to encourage him, say I, that you are interested in, just a clap or acknowledgement for his little extra work. Go ahead. Say I, or a clap, or hip hooray for our Srinivas. Good. Several of them coming in. Nice. I'm sure Srinivas by himself wouldn't have probably even shared or thought about it and so on, but it's important that we acknowledge that fantastic work and a little extra, bringing in extraordinary results, right? So with that, I have to tell another story, and this is about a little extra story, but based on this dose of having thoughts is ordinary, finishing those thoughts in style is extraordinary. Reminds me of um, Arvind Kagarajan, a scientist. He's a Dr. Arvind Kagarajan, but he's not a medical doctor. He did his engineering from Anna University, and he's been mentored by Dr. Abdul Kalam, and he wanted to become a doctor, medical doctor, but he couldn't. And he went on, but what he's created now is that fantastic, heart-touching. He created a stethoscope, okay, digital stethoscope, and this digital stethoscope uh, exactly looks like that stethoscope, but this is also FDA approved now, and it is able to listen to the murmurs, and show up on the screen. Even it could be a smartphone or a tablet, where it is able to show that, and it's like that little ECG done. And in rural and tribal areas in India, they are now implementing using this screening happening on the ground, okay, and prevention of the deaths. He said, when I asked him, Arvind, he lives in Silicon Valley in the US, and I asked him, the pandemic, how has it helped, and how is it actually your devices are helping? And he said, pandemic is definitely a threat, but a bigger one is being already there, which is the heart ailment. A number of people, in tens of thousands of people, are dying on a regular basis, so regular, even in US, developed country, 2,000 people dying because of heart on a daily basis. India, can't even imagine. Africa region, heavy, right? So world over, there is a problem. And now they want to actually help 1 billion hearts to be saved. And many millions have already been saved. And during this pandemic time, when I was asking him, saying, what have you done? What's new? And he said, they've created one new device called Healthy You. It's a small little box kind, and even a granny could use this. Put it on the chest, and this has 7-lead ECG, and for remote healthcare management, first of its kind in the world that they created. And this was again many award winning in the Consumer Electronics show last year, and the process for FDA approval is in place. Now it's in progress. And how so easy for it to be used. At the same time, the amount of data, amount of intelligence which is getting built can save so many lives, right? So not just having those thoughts which he had during lockdown time, didn't know what to do, not able to go out and all that, but look at what he and his team could do, that they finished those thoughts in style, not just finished it, but in style, right? So both the design of that product and 7-lead ECG and the way it is able to provide data, ease of use, granny can use. In fact, grannies, I was mentioning immediately, grannies have been so wise, and there is a saying in India that granny doctor, right? So she's been doctor and medication of granny. Phenomenal. That is ancient wisdom. Today, modern technology. So what Arvind Kagarajan is doing is equipping all the grannies to become really doctors now. So they are able to treat and become even nurses, and able to coordinate, do their own tests, and communicate so easily with the doctor, and the inner engineering is becoming easier, right? So I'm also a member in the Telemedicine Society of India. So I was able to relate to the opportunities which are there, the innovation. In fact, when for this book, A Little Extra, I had opportunity to meet Mr. A.S. Kiran Kumar, who used to be the chairman of ISRO then. Based on his work of Mission to Mars is where the movie also happened, right? I'm sure you all have watched that movie, and a lot of innovation, as Mr. Mahesh was mentioning today, that even frugal innovation, incremental innovation can create big impact, and that is what took us to even Mars, and those principles that we were able to use, right? So innovation, when we talk, typically people can easily relate to two types, or categories or domains of innovation in healthcare. One is in the medical devices, very easy to relate innovation. The other is pharma. These two, innovation, very easy. Anybody wants to give an example of innovation in the recent past in pharma industry? Type in, if you want to type in. Okay, so vaccine itself is one of those, right? The inventions which has happened, and the way it has been made available as a process, right? There are other domains which are equally important. And during this COVID times, we've seen how all these 6 domains have come to light. I've written a paper on this. So this is a depiction of the 6 domains or 6 areas of innovation in healthcare: medical devices, pharma, patient care, preventive care, process, and policies, right? I give you an example of preventive care, the one Dr. Shrikant Sola's, Devik Earth, Pure Skies, how rather than treating heart, how it can be prevented for heart ailments and the lungs and the issues which are created for the body by preventing it. Prevention is better than cure. So there's a lot of opportunity here, right? Patient care. In fact, I was speaking in one of the forum of heart specialists globally, and I was listening to one of the doctor, the patient care, the way they did in Italy when the first wave hit them very, very badly, because it was all new. They had to learn very quickly and come out with a new process, and the different ways of treating patient and the patient care, isolation, to several things which was all new. But yet the situation was very challenging. Time wasn't there, but that they had to do, right? So that's the 6 different domains and many examples, and hopefully you were able to relate to many things with respect to what you are doing and in the pharma industry, right? So healthcare industry, and today you can't ask for a better timing than now, because pandemic has the COVID has become the catalyst for innovation. So many good things also it is done. So here is one of the, it's an opportunity. There is a problem, or you can see it as an opportunity, right? So I was mentioning, so these were several stories and little shots of inspiration, the doses for you for a healthy innovation, right? Innovation enablement, which needs to happen in a healthy way. So having sight is ordinary, having a vision is extraordinary. I was talking about Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar, who was the chairman of ISRO, and the kind of healthcare support that their technology is provided is just amazing. And even to reaching Mars, right, you need to have that vision. So is sight and vision the same? In fact, actually, I paid a very big price to know the difference between sight and vision. I met with a freak accident and lost both my eyes. I had to be, medical interventions happened, and so many of them, that 14 interventions happened with several lasers, surgery, the buckle, to several things. And in that process, I really realized, and my brain started working very differently. I was able to connect the dots. I was able to see much in advance the future. And the challenges that I had to go through, I could not think of any job without able to see what do I do. I didn't want it to be a burden to the society, to my family. And how do you want to always expect support from friends? I rather be a support instead of asking for support all the time, right? But fantastic support came in, and a lot of people praying. And there is beyond the science, there is a lot more power, right? Yet to be explored. And the more we explore, the better it is. And a lot of ancient wisdom. And now, whatever the limited sight I got, but I understood the power of the vision that I've got. Sight is something which is definite in shape, size, color, distance, any given point in time. And vision has no boundaries. Every entrepreneurial venture needs vision. Every entrepreneurial initiative needs vision. Every product needs vision. Every innovation journey needs vision. Every enterprise needs vision. And many places just hanging as a statement on the wall, but actually it's a very strategic tool. So it's all up to us on how we utilize it, right? In some of my training programs, I bring it up and as vision and mission as inseparable twins, and which is actually helping us in this journey of innovation and enablement, right? So how do we enable people for their innovation journeys? Then the impact it can do, it's a meaningful, purposeful innovations which can solve problem, worthy problem to solve, and something which will inspire you to stay put, to make it happen even 20 years down the line. That's how you build sustainable companies, create jobs, right? So that's the power of vision, right? Having sight is ordinary. Having a vision is extraordinary. And it's not an option in the innovation journey, right? Another shot, in the journey of innovation, the ups and downs are a part and parcel. So a smooth ride towards success is ordinary. Springing back from failure to success is extraordinary. There's a old wisdom again, ancient wisdom, which says it's not about how many times you fall or fail, how many times you rise. I want to extend that. It's not about how many times you fall or how many times you raise, how quickly you raise. You have to raise quickly and then move forward. Thomas Alva Edison is the best example. So many attempts, but yet he stayed put because he had a strong purpose. And with that purpose, he created and innovated and became an entrepreneur. And even today, the company is so well regarded globally, right? So springing back from failure to success is extraordinary. Living life is ordinary. Giving life is extraordinary. Healthcare, pharmacy, innovation should all be around giving life, right? That's the little extra. Enjoying life is one part. How are we and our work and our innovations is giving life, right? It'll be amazing. What a feeling, inner feeling. And the attitude plays a big role in this innovation journey. And if we want to enable, then it's important that performing well when someone's watching is ordinary. Performing well when no one's watching is extraordinary. That is what actually determines who you are. And entrepreneurs, nobody is watching them, yet they need to perform, right? And wailing away time is ordinary. Healing the world with your time is extraordinary. Remember, time is the best resource nature has gifted to us, and all of it have it in equal proportion. It's just about what we do with it. And as healthcare professionals and people, pharma students, your life ambition should be that aspiration, should be that healing the world with your time. and your innovation journeys is going to be very meaningful. So fear in the forefront is ordinary. Love at the forefront is extraordinary. In fact, this is secret. Even during the pandemic time, the pharma, the healthcare workers, if you are operating with love in the forefront, automatically your immunity levels, everything functions very, very well. But if you're operating from fear, it brings you down. So love at the forefront is extraordinary. Keep loving your work, keep loving people, keep loving the society, keep loving the whole universe, and magic will happen, right? And innovation journey is going to be just amazing. So struggle is ordinary, acceptance is extraordinary. With acceptance, you get the power of whatever is the challenge, and that creates the mind. Once you accept, then the analysis happens, and with the analysis is when the innovation and the possibilities happen, and then the innovation, and that becomes the new normal. That is the 5-step process, and that happens. Otherwise, you struggle. So acceptance is extraordinary. So there is a model and a framework, a method to the madness. With the Institute of Inspiring Innovation, we have an I3 model. The journey of innovation actually goes through 3 phases. The phase 1 is inspiration. The phase 2 is ideation. The phase 3 is incubation, right? With that as a framework, and there is a method to the madness. And in fact, inspiration is very vague, and it is very abstract. But what you need to draw is the vision, the mission, and have strong values. And the journey will be amazing if you know what problem are we trying to solve. Have a meaningful problem or a worthy problem to solve, and that will keep you inspired during the journey. And here is a prescription of a book of mine called Inseparable Twins, to inspire young minds in the journeys of innovation and entrepreneurship. It should help you. Then ideation is the process where you generate many ideas and distill to pick one idea, so that not all ideas have business in it. At the same time, no idea is a bad idea. Here is another prescription, which is my book Found, which for smart people who do not have the problem of not having ideas, they have a bigger problem of too many ideas. So how do you pick a winning idea? So this should help you. So this is a 5-part framework which guides you through the process of picking a winning idea, so that you can get into the phase of incubation, so that you build all the other parts which are required. And who else other than Srinivas here, who is running the incubation center, and they are helping many young entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, MSME, even enterprises, to go through that innovation journey, incubate, come out with a proof of concept, take it to market, name it correctly, then put the revenue models together and create intellectual properties, have the legal framework which supports its growth, and have some sales and traction. All of these done in a very safe and secure way, in a nice, safe environment, is what incubation is all about. So is easier said than done, but then that's where you need that entrepreneurial ecosystem. And that is what Srinivas and team are providing at LMCT. So best wishes. With that, I close saying that you are extraordinary people. You should know that, and embark on a fantastic innovation journeys, and in a healthy way. Thank you so much. And it is 3:30, so I close. A little extra dose of sharing your insights and takeaways if you want, and else I'm done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for explaining to us how necessary innovation is, and also for giving us the points to keep in mind when working on achieving our innovative goal. We would now like to begin with the question and answer session.
Okay, I'm game.
Students, if you are having any questions, this is a very great opportunity for you. You can directly ask to sir.
I like the comment from Dr. Radhika. Can somebody read it out?
Yes, Srinivas here. Navin, Dr. Radhika mentions this as an excellent session. In a simple and lucid manner, Sir has nicely explained the fine line of difference between ordinary and extraordinary. This has surely broadened the vision of students to work in an extraordinary way and do something new in a healthier manner.
Nice. I think that's a wonderfully articulated, actually. Thank you, Dr. Radhika.
Thank you, sir.
That's a little extra that you are doing, right? You are demonstrating a little extra here.
Sir, it is our great pleasure that you are here today and have really nicely explained it through short stories and really motivated and inspired our students. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Navin, this student has a question.
Okay.
That is me.
Oh.
How can I know that what am I doing is innovative?
Oh, fantastic. In 3 steps. First step is self, right? If it is something that you thought it is new, you never did this or you never knew this, itself is a first level of test. Okay, this is a simple framework that I'm creating and talking to you and sharing. It's a self-assessment, right? And if you think it is, or if you already knew, okay, it was already there and so on, so it's done. It's not innovative then, right? And if it is so that it is new or you never knew about it and you'd never come across something like this, then the next level of it is the research. You know, the research is about how is it been, who has done, what has been done in the open domain. Okay, so has somebody done? Is a variant of it is available? We don't ask questions, and that is the problem, right? And we, even entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, just jump in thinking that my idea is the next $1 billion idea and it's new and novel and nobody knew about it, and they go on to create a business. Many times ideas need not be made as a business, right? You know, so it can still be innovative, but not necessarily as a business. So research or a search and getting to know outside of us as a domain, right? And the next level is professional way of looking at search on patents and so on. So the new and novelty at that level, if it is patentable or not, is from an invention perspective, but it is definitely another level, the 3rd degree, I would say. So 3 things: self, second is the external domain search, and the 3rd one is the research on the patent. You know, you have a method and ways of doing those searches and identifying the novelty. So hopefully it helped.
Yes. There's one more question.
And I know you as a student would have asked, but you probably asked it behalf of many other students.
True. There's another question in the chat box. Hardly any Indian pharma companies have dedicated medical innovation department. How to look for contributing passionately in that area?
In fact, it's a greenfield, wonderful opportunity. Sad that it isn't there as much. Today, if we look at even 2 of the vaccine coming from India was a big savior to the nation itself. And it's happening at specialty centers as R&D, but as innovation, I think there is an opportunity, and very few people think they are innovative, but innovation potential is there in every person. In fact, I was even coming through, India is uniquely placed, but not utilized well. And we need to nurture and provide that support. And LMCP is definitely one of those which should consider to nurture innovation at a grassroots level and democratizing innovation. And when I say uniquely positioned, I'll tell you why. You all are aware that, about turmeric, and, where one of the foreign companies or, people applied for patent, and we have been using the medical benefits of it is known to us, the pharma benefits. So how the whole coffee culture in the world, Italians ruled that latte to, the cappuccinos to so many of these, the machines, the Nescafes and all that, right? Today, which is the hottest selling, highest selling? They call it yellow latte. And what is this yellow latte? Well, it's becoming a rage. All the youth are now going into these cafes and paying heavy money to buy, and it's a golden latte, not yellow latte, golden latte. Phenomenally costly. Actually, it's the turmeric in hot milk, which has got phenomenal medical benefits, and it's a medicine. The granny, I said, right? The granny's way of treating, for building immunity, for having that cure for many of these, be temperature or cold and several things, right? It has that power. Turmeric is a phenomenal Ayurvedic, ingredient, natural ingredient. Golden latte is powerful. Business models are happening based on that. So, and we will be only watching, because we have taken it for granted that turmeric mixed in, we don't even want to have it when at home they offer. Parents say, or granny say, drink hot milk with turmeric and a little pepper in that. We say, no, we don't want. But now golden latte, cool stuff. Actually here, innovation. And if we know the ancient wisdom that we have, tap in and bring it out and create that opportunity, and also the youth to engage and be curious. There is phenomenal opportunity, and we need to cultivate that. A number of patents that India has or having, the current trend is very, very low compared to, say, China or UK or USA or even Korea, but majority of it, already it's been done. Innovation, I keep saying, the best of the innovations will be discovery. It looks like a paradoxical, I repeat, the best of innovation will be discovery. If only, and presented probably in the new way, in the new form, to the new world. It's a phenomenal opportunity. Make it as part of your culture. In education institutions, we need to cultivate that habit to be curious, right? And how do you create that culture? Itself is a game. Enablement in a healthy way would mean that you'll have to work at the grassroots level and make things happen, think very differently, and also tap into the ancient wisdom.
Thank you, sir. I also had a question.
Okay.
When connecting with people from our field and with others, what are the points that we should keep in mind, like in terms of putting forward our ideas?
Okay. So this is very open and generic. And a nice question, Kavya. So, especially when you're talking about ideas, okay? So how you communicate plays a big role. If there is new and novelty in the idea, and if there is something patentable, then you're not supposed to be sharing the idea. Okay. Yet, how do you do the research? So a lot of them focus on sharing the idea. Actually, idea itself, when we talk about in innovation journeys, we refer to the bulb and idea. And idea actually is having three parts. One is the problem, the other is the solution, the third is the purpose, right? So what is that you're sharing? The problem, or is it the solution, or is it the purpose? And if you learn that art, then your communication will be effective. At the same time, you need to focus in the innovation journey initially more on the problem. What problem are you solving? And what is that purpose that you have for your life journey, innovation journey? And solution is something that you need to create. But people get confused and they will be talking only about solution as an idea. And in the process, some of it which has novelty is also lost. And at the same time, you should be talking about the idea, which is on the problem side and the purpose side, and figure out what is the right solution. So that would be the combination that I would say in your communication. And it is an art also. So we should develop that. Kavya, hope it helped. And did it sound like a Kavya?
Yes, sir.
Kavya
Thank you
would
so
be
much, sir.
that nice way to, express the thoughts, right?
Yes, sir.
And in a musical way. Did it sound like one?
Yes, sir.
Because your question was like that. The question itself was like a Kavya. So I hope the answer was also the same.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Take care. Best wishes.
I would like to request Dr. Srinivas Savle, the CEO of AIC LMCPs, to present the certificate of appreciation to Mr. Naveen Lakur as a mark of our gratitude.
Naveen, sorry for this. I have to do it electronically. I would love to have you on site, and physically, I would like to felicitate you sooner. But thank you so much for inspiring again. As you have been, I think the first thing that caught me or inspired me is your extra, that little extra of having sight is ordinary, but having vision is extraordinary. I think that's what keeps me going. Thanks for sharing your wisdom, and I'm sure this is just the beginning, and we would love to have more insights from you going forward. Thanks for being here. This is just a gesture of appreciation from our end.
Thank you so much. I feel so happy and honored, right? Because I keep saying, as a coach, one thing I've learned now is I've become a better student. So now I'm getting a certificate also. So I'm happy about it.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request Divya ma'am to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Kavya. First of all, a very warm and graceful afternoon to our Honorable Mr. Naveen Laku, sir, our beloved Principal Dr. M.T. Chhabaria, sir, CEO AIC LMCP, Dr. Srinivas Savle, sir, dear faculty members, students, and everyone gathered over here to this virtual meet. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and to acknowledge the contribution of those who worked really very hard to make this webinar enabling innovation in a healthy way a successful one. Firstly, I would like to emphasize here that we are organizing all these seminars and webinars as a part of Diamond Jubilee celebration of being into existence. Our college has completed 75 years of foundation this year. Now, on behalf of Institution Innovation Council, IIC, LM College of Pharmacy, first of all, I would like to extend my most sincere thanks to our speaker of the day, Mr. Naveen Laku, sir, who took out his valuable time from his busy schedule and have delivered a talk on such an important topic. Really, the session was very nice and interesting, sir. Sir, today we had a great opportunity to hear your thoughts on innovation. This will surely be going to encourage us to do something new in our field. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us a new path. You very innovatively brought the inspirational thoughts in front through small stories very nicely. I would like to reiterate few of them here again. One is external engineering is ordinary, but inner engineering is extraordinary. Working hard is ordinary, but working smart is extraordinary. Acquiring knowledge is ordinary, but applying knowledge multiple times in multiple ways is extraordinary. Having thoughts is ordinary, and finishing those thoughts in a style is extraordinary. Living life is ordinary, but giving life is extraordinary. That was very nice, sir. If you permit, and of course, our principal sir will allow us, we would love to put these thoughts in a form of slogans at our premises to motivate our students. And thank you very much, sir, for motivating us for the innovation. I also expressed my deepest gratitude to our principal, Dr. Mahesh Chhabaria sir, Dr. Praful Bharadia sir, the president of IIC LMCP, and Dr. Srinivas Savle sir, CEO AIC LMCP, for supporting us with this activity and always providing encouragement and motivation to us. A special thanks goes to Dr. Radhika Pandya ma'am, Assistant Professor, LM College of Pharmacy, and convener of all the IIC-driven activities at our institute, for a great technical support which she has provided today and showing us the right directions for making this webinar successful. I also thank Kavya. She's the SEM 6 BPharm student and the anchor of the session today. Vraj and the remaining IIC student volunteers for very well arrangement, management and execution of the program. As no program can become successful without audience, I extend my big thanks to all the participants, especially students. I hope they have got a very well take-home message from this session. Lastly, once again, thank you all for making this event successful. Thank you very much, sir.
Just one quick thing. All the 3 books of Naveen are available at AIC. Anybody would like to have a look, most welcome.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
And also for Kavya being that little extra, I didn't know that, she was the anchor and at the same time being a student, right? So
Yes, sir.
she is going to get a little extra gift from my side. A copy of the book is going to come to her, right? So happy that we found her. So
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes. So, and you are demonstrated that you are phenomenal, you captured everything. You are a teacher, but now you've become a wonderful student. And, that's what I was saying. I have competition now. So as a coach, I've become a better student and now I have competition there.
No, sir, we are learning all this from you, sir.
Yes, fantastic. So we all continue to learn, right? So that's the best part.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So take care.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, see you. Love you all. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.